Eugene, lose Christ! Hey, man.
just network and load, that's it.
You're gonna do what you're gonna do, right?
You got nothing to worry about.
I know.
I know who you are. Maybe it's better than you know yourself.
How you feeling?
For example, I know that you could be doing what he's doing back there.
Criticism from Democrats that these staff reductions and cuts that Elon Musk and Doge are doing are an unlawful power grab. Is there anything you've told Elon Musk you cannot touch?
So he's going to step much. I'll tell him to go here, go there, and he does it. He's got a very capable group of people. Very capable. They know what they're doing. And they'll ask questions, and they'll see immediately as somebody gets tongue-tied that they're either crooked or don't know what they're doing. We're very smart people, don't think so. I've instructed him to go into education, go into military, go into other things as we go along. And they're finding massive amounts of fraud, abuse, waste, all of these things. But I will pick out a target and I say go in. There could be areas that we won't, but I think everything's sort of, we're a government. We have to be open. And as an open government, I don't think you could say maybe some high intelligence or something. And I'll do that myself if I have to. But generally speaking, I'll just say go. But he will be looking at education pretty quickly, and he will be looking at military too.
Could you tell me, please, to which branch does Elon Musk belong?
Several hundred people packed the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors room, and about 100 more were in the lobby and couldn't get in. They talked about their fears and the legality of all the changes that are happening.
I've been a federal worker for 23 years with my agency for that long. And
nothing like telling the valet to bring my foreign out front.
Everyone's been scared. Everyone's afraid every day that she's going to travel or going to get cut.
I think this goes beyond politics. I think this goes to our Constitution, our division of powers, our democracy. I don't think speaking out about what's happening is political. It's just trying to save our agency and our democracy.
I have received that workshop. So now my job, which is to advise the House Workers Committee and Senate Relations Committee on the last couple of experience of how that is. I'm not doing my job. I'm sitting on my hands all day, watching these things play out in Serbia, Georgia, and Russia. This committee is a lot of my state.
All right, we might be ready to move on this thing. If you want to work, you'll get a knock on your door any minute.
And to talk about lieutenant's wife, child, got checked up on for our agency and are living here.
Wait. So we have to do our coverage of now. That is happening over Elon Musk and the Doge team trying to hide the federal government and expose the corruption of Democrat Party. Which, by the way, one of the reasons why I wanted this story to be so hilarious is because the mainstream media and the Democrats, they were mocking the idea of Doge, right? They were mocking the idea that you can cut wasteful spending from the federal government using Elon Musk and his expertise, right? Elon Musk is a businessman and he doesn't know anything about the government. The government's not a business. U.S. government is too big. It is too bureaucratic. It is too inefficient. And Elon Musk isn't smart enough to understand how to take the pieces of the federal government spending. So now, fast forward to Doge being implemented. These same people are now over Elon Musk and the Doge team being too efficient, right? Too good, right? They're doing too much, right? There's too much transparency. Again, it's just amazing how that works. Okay, the desperation has gotten to an all-time, moving a bunch of Democrat states, attorney generals getting together to try to find some woke activist judge to stop Elon Musk and the Doge team from exposing Democrats and their corruption, in which a New York judge, an activist judge, did bend the knee to try to temporarily stop Doge from accessing the trading.
In the past week, Elon Musk is involved in the Department of Governmental Efficiency and access to personal private information.
tens of millions of Americans, and sensitive data about public and private entities, social security numbers, addresses, tax returns, and more. This is not the world's richest man is not authorized to have this information.
News we have on Doge. This is from New York Judge John Paul Engelmeyer in his statement. The court's firm assessment is that for the reasons stated by the state, they will face irreparable harm in the absence of injunctive relief. That is both because of the risk that the new policy presents of the disclosure of sensitive and confidential information and the heightened risk that the systems in question will be more vulnerable than before. This question of sensitive information to me seems to be a threat whether you're talking about FBI agents who are worried about their names released, or you're talking about the Treasury Department and all of our potentially sensitive information. Once it is out there, there's no point in cheating on people.
Yeah, see, hey, we're now, okay? That's why you should probably get past it. Right. They're relying on the courts to fight them out because there's nothing else they can do. Okay, they can't do anything else, and I don't think that the sport victories are going to last that much longer, because I don't think that these individuals are doing all the things that Democrats claim that they're doing. Okay, they're not stealing your data, they're not cutting off grabbing the Social Security check, they're not doing those things. I think what they're actually doing is that they're figuring out ways to upgrade government systems and make the government more efficient. Yes, and they are exposing the waste, fraud, and abuse that the government is spending money on that taxpayers do not want to fund. And this is just, again, a bad look for the Democrats. And they're just too stupid to realize that their opposition to the will of the American people is not going to make their party more popular. It's not going to help revive the dead party. Okay? So, as the Democrats try to fight against the will of the American people, we have mainstream media. They are hyperventilating and melting down over those employees themselves.
I want to know who are these young, highly intelligent, highly motivated zealots following the buildings and shutting off payments to school starts. I don't know their names.
Well, you know, they're trying to, the local officials are trying to make that official. The newly installed Trump are threatening people for naming their names, just so you know.
Oh yeah, they can unmask their lives in harm's way to try and keep Americans safe. I want to get their names off. I want to see Democratic governor say, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to use the full faith and to the letter of the law and put you folks in prison. I think what was trespassing, I think this is a coup. And be clear, just because the new insurrectionist who was elected, I don't believe this is legal. And I'm going to hold the people accountable for trespassing, part of a coup, accountable. To just sit back and say this is horrible, this is
Man, shut your stupid ass up.
gangster, and say, look,
You are an ass to your hole in your ass.
This is the seizure of power. We are not going to engage in these bullshit, ridiculous arguments over Gaza and Greenland. We are going to hold the people accountable. Here are their names, here are their faces, and we have contacted local authorities in where these kids live, these young adults, and we are going to hold them accountable.
Yeah, and the question is, a lot of them are like, what do we do? They're literally asking me, what do we do to stop him? I was like, I just don't. I was like, you actually don't have the means to do so, because these poor people are in these agencies, and when these idiots come in, these children, these arrogant little pricks come in and say, we're going to call the federal marshal court, the president has ordered you to step aside. They kind of have to. You have to be resistant and be walked out by security, and then security doesn't know which one to listen to, right? Essentially.
I'd like to see all, whatever it is, 40 or 49 U.S. senators and Republicans. I'd like to see a couple hundred members of Congress go to the fucking building where this is and demand to go in and physically stop this and let them arrest you.
And how do fees compare on Root's portfolios to other REITs that are out there in the marketplace? So when you're looking at our REIT versus other REITs, we're very comparable to like a publicly traded REIT where there really are no fees to get in and out. The biggest difference is that we are private, so we're basing our value off of the assets that we actually hold and not public perception of what we're valued at. And when you look at privately held, the fee structures usually have.
And of course, they can't keep big balls out of their mouth. Hey, thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Big balls.
Big Balls. Big Balls. We work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, Illinois case of the Big Balls kid, a little teenager.
Big balls. Big balls here. That they was talking about. A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls. So that's one way to refer to him.
Computer wizards, the aforementioned Big Balls.
Because school and us doesn't feel better about Big Balls, in charge of American air traffic control.
Yeah, so to my knowledge, the local media has not been able to convince Doge to get rid of Big Balls. And I don't even think it would matter if Doge was to fire Big Balls or Big Balls was to resign, because you can just play Big Balls with these nuts. So, with that being said, apparently the federal government employees are not having a good time dealing with this reality of Doge state coming in and essentially embarrassing them, right? Humiliating federal employees, because not only are these federal employees facing the prospect of being fired, but they have to justify their job. They have to justify what they do, their existence, to the Doge state, which again includes the 19-year-old like Big Balls. So imagine being a federal employee at Crowtech and it's justify your job to a 19-year-old named Big Balls.
It's service compared to Steve, just for the gallery because I just wanted to share some things that at my agency. In the last week, we had to walk the staff to bring visibility of our these items. So my colleagues are getting to unit going on check-ins with 19, 20, 21-year-old college graduates tested to justify their distance. Supervisors being told not to tell their staff anything, withhold information. Today we got word that supervisors must now fill out their justification form, and there's going to be just a 30% rounding gank of all staff in my agency. And to top it all off, one of the most lieutenants, wife, young child, have checked up on the 6th floor of our agency and our living room.
The Diamond Casino and Resort presents a brand new car available to win today, simply with the spin of a wheel.
My agency are being bounced in mode. They're when I started. Good to meet you. I'm Ryan. I've been at least for a little over 30 years. See that molecule specialist. I'm working at page 5 of project 2025. Starts me as a pedophile philosopher, a child abuser, and suggests that I should be put to death. Page 5. I need to know if you're not really dead. I seriously need to know if you're not really dead. That this is incredible from a friend of mine, the transgender PhD today,
hello and welcome.
Hey, what's up? Sure, no problem.
Looks to me like a fire issue line or we don't know whether right? But obviously since they struck the T from everything, you must take a hurricane act with LGBT travel act T. They have to the highest levels. They don't make the plans to run the that's
yeah, so you take that and figure it out. And that sounds like a experience, right? That's like your dog. And when you this a 19-year-old, that's why. That is super wild. Yo, this timeline is amazing. Yeah, I cannot believe the world that we live in right now. This is awesome, right? This is so awesome. So, with that being said, you got federal work. They are upset. Right? Democrats are, everybody's upset. Okay? But I think that the American people are not upset. Right? I think the American people, okay, understand that our government is loaded. And that we really do have to solve this debt problem, right? We have an issue in this country when it comes to spending. And reducing the waste, the bureaucracy, the bloat of the federal government. First thing that we have to do in order to accomplish trying to get this country back on financial track. But again, the problem is that Democrats think that it is justified to do things with U.S. taxpayer dollars, like, for example, spend $20 billion sending money to Iraq for Sesame Street, right? Sesame Street in Iraq. They're trying to justify, right? They're not justifying this as a necessary use of taxpayer dollars. This is what they're boo-hoo-wide and proud about.
Is funding Sesame Street a judicious use of soft power?
Well, Michael, the way you put it is the way I hope folks considering your poll today will think about it. This isn't just funding a kids show for children, millions of children in countries like Iraq. It's a show that helps teach values, helps teach public health, helps prevent kids from dying from dysentery and disease, and helps push values like collaboration, peacefulness, cooperation in a society where the alternative is ISIS, extremism, and terrorism. And to your point, it's pennies on the dollar. The U.S. Department of Defense has an annual budget of about $850 billion. USAID was spending about $30 billion. It is a small proportion of our total federal spending, and as Joe and I would often say, it's not just soft power, it's smart power. Let me leave you with one other quote, Michael, if I could. Jim Mattis, who was a 4-star Marine Corps general and Trump's Secretary of Defense in his first term, in a hearing back then said, if you slash development and aid spending, then I'm going to need more bullets for our troops.
Wow. So, again, you have Democrats essentially justify sending $20+ billion to Iraq for Sesame Street. And this dude is just telling you why. He's telling you why it's propaganda. Well, we want to influence the values and the culture there, right? And that's what it's about. It's all about propaganda, okay? Trying to control more numbers. You're not doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You're doing it as a psyop, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to stake a psyop on other people, right? That's what you're trying to do. That's what they're fighting for. This is what they're fighting for. So, again, the issue is that Democrats think that we can just continue to spend money like this into perpetuity with no consequences. And that's just simply not true, okay? Even when confronted about the debt problem, the debt issue, which is part of the reason why Doge exists, again, just listen to this Democrat once again fail to come up with any real solutions to solve the problem or to engage with the argument in any substantive way. To go,
half the country wants to see a reduction of the size of government. We tried it the conventional way. 15 years ago, it was called Simpson-Bowles. It never even got to a vote in the Congress. So what do you say to the people who, they might be unsettled about this approach, but they like the work being done?
Everyone likes the idea of cutting the federal bureaucracy and cutting federal spending until it impacts them. And when Elon Musk said he's going to chainsaw the federal government and take $2 trillion out of spending, I'm dying to see where he's going to cut spending that won't impact average Americans. USAID, as you just said, Michael, was an easy target because it mostly impacts our safety and security through things done overseas. But he's now going after the Department of Education, Veterans Administration, the Department of Defense, Social Security. He and his Doge boys, the young men from the Department of Government Efficiency, which is neither a department nor an elected part of our overall administration, they burrowed into massive federal databases that contain the tax returns and the personal information of millions and millions.
Nah, bitch, you don't want us knowing the tax information on y'all because y'all been stealing our fucking money. We on y'all ass. We on y'all ass.
Fire department.
We on y'all ass. We gonna find where y'all wasting money at, and we gonna cut the fucking faucet off.
Right, but I guess my point is something needs to be done. Michael Peterson at the Pete Peterson Foundation, the folks who are concerned, I think appropriately so, about debt, the size of our debt, he told me in an interview last year that by 2050, half of our revenue is going to go to debt service. I mean, we're facing catastrophic situation. It's not a sexy issue. It doesn't seem to get the American people fired up. But take our last 30 seconds and speak to the national debt.
So Lindsey Graham, senator from South Carolina, last night released his plan.
Let's talk.
$500 billion more. We have to have offsets, and we have to have a path towards balance. It doesn't involve just spending more. It also involves bringing in more revenue and spending less. That's a challenge for all of us, but the way to do it is not with a chainsaw. It's through the regular process of government.
Yeah, so this Democrat here is...
Fuck him. That's why we're $36 trillion in debt. Because he want to do it the same fucking way they've been doing it. Come on now.
Nothing ever happens.
Doesn't ever happen.
Okay? Or do we want to actually, I don't know, try to force change through using all the mechanisms that we can in order to cut wasteful spending? Because this is an existential problem, right? This right here could actually be the downfall of this country, okay? When you talk about the debt, you talk about current
$36 trillion worth of debt.
more U.S. dollars. Okay, we have more U.S. dollars into money supply. It's basically around the highest that it's ever been. Okay, when you talk about having a debt to GDP ratio of over 100%, okay, and interest payments that could pile up, that could quickly overtake the amount of money that we bring in as a country in revenue. Yeah, I mean, you talk about getting this country into an impossible nightmare debt scenario that could lead to the collapse of this country. Okay, this has happened before in the past. Empires like the Roman Empire have failed partially due to bad monetary policy, right? That's what happened. They run some ton of debts, and they continue to debase their currency, their gold currency, in which they would put less and less gold in their currency as a way to basically debase and to print more currency, right? And ultimately that led, or it helped lead to the collapse of the empire. And the same thing's happening to the United States of America, but Democrats don't give a damn about it, right? They don't give a damn. They don't care. They will get mad at American people because American people say, no, we shouldn't go down this path, right? We have to be financially responsible as a country, or else, we're like another country. It's really that serious. Bad money management is how empires collapse, right? That is how empires collapse. We see that. And I do not think that the U.S. is an exception to that. It can happen. So that's one of the main reasons why those are so important. And again, Democrats standing against this is just them standing against the will of the people. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Like I said before, we being robbed by these criminals, and now that they showing us where all the wasteful spending is at, now they want to get mad. Man, we the people should be demanding that all these assholes be fucking fired because they're straight up traitors to the United States of America's corporation and the taxpayers. So when you look at them being traitors and nothing but a bunch of liars, we don't need them motherfuckers hanging around getting paid to fuck over us. That's stupid. We should be writing all type of boycotts, but boycott these bitches straight out of this shit.
Hey, so I know you been there already, but Pooh just called and said I can come through and get a tour of Dre's studio as a thank you for what we did for him. Lamar crazy ass her, so you know that fool gonna be there too. But it's gonna be cool. We'll do it whenever it's good for you. Man, I'm excited for this. Look, bring a friend if you like. This one gonna hit different, alright? Peace, homie.